Alright guys, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. Today, we're not going to be playing any kind of games. We're getting serious, and we are talking about the potentially forthcoming standard ban list. Now, the first card on this list is a pretty controversial one, but I think most people agree that it should probably be banned or at least restricted so that people can only play one copy at a time. And that card is Healer's Hawk. I mean, 1 mana for a 1/1 with not just flying, but lifelink as well, is pretty broken in this format. The only other 1-drops you get are ones predominantly on the ground or that are only flying. But for this to have both power and toughness for only 1 white mana, and it comes in the air, so it's difficult to block on turn 1, and it has lifelink, so it enables a turn 2 Rajani's Pridemate to already start growing. This just gets way too out of hand, way too fast. I mean, look at it. Look at this art, too. He's got these little bottles on him. I don't know, man. Great art, but I think this card definitely needs to be banned. It's far too easy. Without an Ornithopter in the format to soak up this damage starting right when it starts on turn 1, I mean, your life total, it's just going to be taken away right, out from under your feet before you can even stop it. You've got no way to block this guy. He flies, and then he gains your opponent life. So as you're getting down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 life, your opponent's up there at like 40 or 50. Way too broken. Healer's Hawk, I think it needs to be banned. Alright, the next card on the list is one that not too many people have been talking about lately, but nonetheless, I think there's still some merit to the argument for why we should ban it, and that is Gitu Lava Runner. Now you might be thinking, well, I haven't seen this guy played in Standard in quite some time. I feel like he's been replaced by Scorch Spitter and, those Knights with First Strike and all those folks. Fervent Champion and such. Well, I think you're kind of right. Gitu Lava Runner, he does have 2 toughness for only 1 red mana and 1 power, so that puts him in a sense above a lot of those other 1-drops, but still for some reason people tend to play the other ones instead of this guy. And I think that's because for this guy to get his +1/+0 in haste, you have to have 2 or more instant and sorcery in your graveyard, and that's just hard to get early on. Whereas a Fervent Champion, if you have 2 of them in play on turn 2, they both have 2 power. Scorch Spitter does that attacking damage, so he effectively also has 2 power when it comes to beating down your opponent. So that's why I think Gitu Lava Runner has kind of fallen out of the spotlight and fallen out of favor with a lot of mono red mages. And for that reason, I don't think this card needs to be banned, just because it's not really in Standard that much anymore. And since no one's playing it, well, it's not really impacting the meta, and it's not really messing with anyone's game plan. So Gitu Lava Runner, I think, totally good to stay around. Now, another card that everyone has been talking about banning is Agent of Treachery, which apparently I don't have because I'm not a trash player who plays Agent of Treachery. Nah, I'm just kidding. But Agent of Treachery, I think a lot of people want to ban it because of the morals that it teaches kids. It's telling you to gain control and, effectively steal target permanent. And unlike a lot of cards, this one never requires you to give it back. There's no condition where if he leaves, they get their thing back, You just take it and it's yours for the rest of the game, presumably. There are some cards that stop that, but we'll get to that never. But, I don't really think that the morals this guy is teaching kids are ones that they're actually going to pick up on. It's like violent video games don't really cause violence, right? Yeah, you're going to steal something from your opponent in this game, but that doesn't mean that you're going to go take someone's pet dog or their land, their property, or their house or something in real life, right? That's exactly why you want to do it in the games, because you can't do it in real life, just like you can shoot people in games, but not in real life for the most part. So as far as the morals go of Agent of Treachery, I don't really think it's a big risk. I think that stealing something in this game is totally fine. Now, another reason people think it should be banned is just because it's so powerful, right? I mean, just take something and don't give it back, and then if you've stolen enough, it rewards you even more. Well, aside from the moral argument, that is a powerful card, but look, it costs 7 mana. You need 5 of anything and 2 blue. That means you're playing this in a blue deck where you don't have mana ramp. So you literally have to wait till turn 7, assuming you played a land, an untapped land, on every one of those turns, or at least an untapped one on turn 7. So because you have to wait all the way until the 7th turn of the game, when your opponent will probably also have 7 lands, or even 8 if they were on the play, I don't think this is all that powerful. I think it's totally fine. maybe you can take some big thing they played, but I'm sure they've got a way to kill this agent, even though that won't get their thing back, or kill the thing you take, or just play an even bigger thing. So for those reasons, I'm out. I don't think Agent of Treachery needs to be banned. I just don't think it's as powerful as people are saying it is. Now, the final card on the ban list is one that is probably the most controversial. And, well, it's Mountain. And in my opinion, I don't know. I think mountains are really powerful. I mean, they enable mono red aggro decks not only in standard but in historic as well, right? Like if you play a turn one mountain, you can almost certainly play a creature with that, or you can play a burn spell to deal 2 or potentially 3 damage to your opponent, right? I mean, it's a little broken what you can do with just one mountain, and once you get 2, 3, or 4 in play, the possibilities are virtually endless when you're playing red aggro, even if you're playing burn in historic, not just regular mono red aggro in standard, right? I mean, there's Cavaclade decks, there are mono red aggro decks. You can play Perforos with huge creatures. Mountains just do so much in standard and historic that I think we don't just have to ban them from standard, we have to go into a historic as well and look deeper and dig deeper there to ensure that mono red just can't ruin the game anymore for any players, all right? And of course, there are other ways to get red mana. You can play tapped lands, you can play shock lands, but it's these basic mountains that are just taking over the game. They're taking over the meta, and so many players are playing exclusively them. Some people put 18, 20, even 22 of them into a deck. That's how good mountains are, and that's why I think we need to ban them. So, I hope you liked this video. If you agree with me, leave a like. If you don't, leave a different like. Leave a comment if you think there are any other cards that should maybe be banned, or, well, if you think that some of these should not be banned. And just subscribe too while you're at it, as long as you're looking around down there. It really helps out. Bye-bye.